Hello, welcome to the yoga studio today. We'll get started right away, a little different practice today. So feet hip width distance, as parallel as comfortably possible. Arms relaxed at the side. And just start by taking your weight from side to side, back and forth. Just feeling your connection to the ground. And making those movements a little smaller, trying to find the space in the middle. So finally grounded, especially the ball of the big toe out to the sides of the little pinky toe. So the ball mount of the big toe really pushing into the ground and spread, broaden those feet. Then always knees comfortably bent. Then lengthen those legs up from the floor into the pelvis and from the pelvis down into the floor. So the whole time you're broadening the feet and lengthening up and down, knees comfortably bent. And take the hands and broaden the hands too, from the ball of the first finger out to the pinky finger. So the root of the fingers just comfortably broadening, and then tuning into the lengthening of the arms from the fingertips up into the shoulders, and from the shoulders down into the fingertips. So both ways. So broadening the feet, the hands, lengthening the legs, lengthening the arms, both directions. Eyes can be closed or open, whatever's comfortable for you. Without moving the tilt of the pelvis. On an inhale, just barely bending the knees, take the arms forward and bring the hands together. Exhale, back to standing. Push the palms into each other to help with that lengthening and broadening. Inhale, slight bend of the knees, pelvis still squared, and exhale, back up to standing. Head right over the spine. Inhale, maybe a little deeper bend. Exhale, let the face soften. All the muscles around the pelvic floor soften. Inhale, maybe bending a little more. Exhale, back up. Always concentrating on broadening the feet, the hands, lengthening in every direction of those arms and legs, and at the same time, softening the face, softening the pelvic floor. One more of those. And back to standing. Bend the knees, take the arms to the knees, hands are still, palms together. Let the spine soften. Your breathing is natural and comfortable. On an inhale, bend the knees a little bit. On the exhale, straighten a little, but not too straight. Not straightened all the way. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, back to straightness the whole time. Thinking about broadening the feet, broadening the hands, and finding that lengthening along the arms, along the legs, softening the face. On an inhale, the hands come just above the knees. Exhale, straighten the arms. Inhale, up to standing, and arms nice and wide. Take the feet a little bit more than hip width distance. Feet as comfortable, as parallel as comfortably possible. Arms out, feel that lengthening all the way from fingertips to shoulder, shoulder to fingertips. Head right on top of the spine. Feel the ball of the big foot grounding and taking that width to the outside. Knees comfortably bent. Inhale here, exhale, take the palms together. Always moving with your own breath pace. Inhale out. And exhale in, broadening, lengthening whatever can be lengthened, and softening, in particular, the muscles of the face and in and around the pelvic floor. Bring the arms to the knees, letting the head hang, still finding all those broadenings and lengthenings. The lengthening of the arms helps keep your shoulders wide, the space for your heart nice and broad, and the shoulders down away from the ears. This time on an inhale, straighten the legs a little bit. And exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bending the knees, maybe more. Inhale, don't let the arms push the thighs. Let the thighs do their own work. Good, come down to the mat. On all fours, find the root of that first finger grounding into the ground here, finding the world down. The gravity is pulling you into the earth and you are meeting it. Take either the ankles crossed or the feet crossed, whatever's comfortable for you. And exhale, take yourself back into child's pose. On an inhale, come forward, concentrating all the time on the broadenings, the lengthenings, and softening wherever you can soften. Don't take the shoulders any farther than your wrists. Can you find the length of those legs even as you're moving in between these two positions? Come back to all fours, tuck the toes, so they're tucked under. Inhale here. On the exhale, take the hips high and also keep the heels up high. Inhale, touch the knees back to the ground. Exhale, push those sit bones up to the sky, keep the heels high, let the head hang. Inhale back, keep pushing through the first finger root, broadening those hands, lengthening through the arms, finding softness in the face and in the pelvic floor. Lips are just gently together. Only working towards straightness in your legs, never pushing, always listening to your body and finding out what its boundaries are. Coming on back up to standing. Feet hip width distance. Find the four corners of your feet from the root of the big toe out to the pinky toe. Root of the big toe back to the heels. Broaden the hands. Lengthen the arms. Lengthen the torso all the way from the base of the sacrum to the base of the skull, maybe from the base of the skull up through the crown of the head. Same movements at the front. Inhale, bend the knees, arms forward. Exhale, palms together, bring it back to the heart. Inhale, maybe knees bending a little more, and exhale, bring it back in. Can you find those feet on the way out? Make sure the arms are doing their lengthening too, to keep your shoulders away from the ears. Natural curve in the spine as you come forward, and pushing through all four corners to come back up. One more. And back to standing. Come back to our wider than hip width distance. Doesn't have to look exactly the same, whatever feels comfortable. Feet parallel as comfortably possible as arms out to the side. Inhale here. Exhale. Bring hands to the hips, thumb in back, fingers on the hip bones in front. Inhale out. Find your feet. Exhale back. Let the pelvic area soften. And exhale back. Shoulders are softened down the back, but you're reaching through the fingertips into the shoulders. Shoulders out to the fingertips. Always softness in all the joints. Good. Take the hands in front, arms on the knees. This time on an inhale, reach with the torso and straighten the legs towards straightness, only what feels good. Exhale, bend the knees and let yourself have a farther seat down. Inhale, straighten legs, straighten the torso up. Exhale, bend the knees, let your torso down. Take your hands to the floor right in front of your feet. Inhale, straighten the legs and the torso. Exhale, bend the knees, maybe the palms come down to the floor. On the inhale, up on the fingertips, straighten-ish the legs, feel the thighs, muscles pulling into the bone. Exhale, bending the knees. Inhale, straighten, always listening to the body. Find what feels soft, pliable, and purposeful at the same time in your body. Exhale. Good. Bring the hands to, no, let's go to the floor actually. Come on down to all fours. Come on down to the belly. Toes are tucked. Hands are by your sides, just below the shoulders. Right angle bend in your elbows. Ball of that first finger really contacting the floor. Broaden the hands, broaden the feet, lengthen the hands, the arms, the legs. On it, your forehead should be comfortably on the ground. I look at the camera here so I can talk, but normally your forehead is on the ground. On an inhale, push through the ball of the right foot, just gently, whatever feels good, and exhale. Let it go back. Other foot. Inhale, push through the ball of the left foot. And exhale. Let it come back. Keep this going. Let the upper buttock muscles soften. Make sure you are still contacting with the broadening of the hands. This helps keep your shoulders away, your chest open. Only straighten as much as your body wants to straighten. It might be just a little bit. Then the feet straighten out. The tops of the feet are now on the floor. Hands are the same position. Same kind of work. On an inhale, push through the top of the feet. Feel the top of the big toe pushing in and all the way out to the pinky side of the foot. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, other leg. Shoulders are back and down. You're lengthening through those arms the whole time.
Let the upper buttock muscles relax. Lips are just gently connected to each other. Soften anywhere around the pelvic floor. Using the nice attached hands on the surface, push yourself up into all fours here again. Cross your ankles or your feet, maybe the opposite way. And exhale, take yourself back down. Child's pose. Inhale slowly up, really broadening the hands. I know it sounds the same, broadening the feet. Lengthening the arms, both directions. Really feel the lengthening of the arms in this position. But feel the lengthening of the legs too. Now stay in the down dog position. Hands connected to the floor. On an inhale, just lift up the shoulders, and exhale. Take it back down. Keep the broadening. Lengthen whatever can be lengthened. Soften whatever can be softened. Come back to all fours, tuck the toes. On an exhale, take the hips high, keep the heels high. And inhale, knees back to the ground. Find those lengths in the arms especially helps here to keep the heart open. Next time you come up, exhale up and take the feet back down like a normal down dog, but only straighten as much as your body wants you to straighten. Inhale, back to the floor. Alternate between those two. Exhale, hips high, heels high. Inhale, back down. Remember to really root the base of that first finger. And exhale, heels back. So go in between these two. Always on an exhale, hips up, heels up. And then on an exhale, down dog, heels down. Good. Come again to the front of your mat. Feet hip width distance. As parallel as comfortably possible. Broaden the feet. Broaden the hands. Can you broaden also the feet from the root of the big toe back to the heel? On an inhale, bend the knees. Take the arms forward, but this time on the exhale, just bring them back down to the sides. Continue, continuously broaden, continuously lengthen, continuously soften whatever can be softened. Natural little lumbar curve as you go down and straightening as you come up. Take the feet wider than hip width distance. Start with palms together, arms on the knees. This time take the fingertips to the floor. Exhale, bend the knees, maybe palms down. Inhale, extending the legs, maybe closer to straight this time. Inhale down, maybe palms down. And exhale, straighten. Only where the body tells you it wants to go. Continuously softening around the pelvic floor and in the face. Okay, come down to the floor once again. On your belly, hands by your sides, fingers just below your shoulders. Normally your forehead is comfortably on the ground. I'm just going to turn my head for the camera. Feet are, toes are tucked. This time on an exhale, take one leg towards straightness and inhale, put it down. Go to the other leg, exhale, straighten, inhale, down. Keep the root of the first finger grounded, broadening the hands, broadening the feet. Lengthen the arms and lengthen the feet. Relax the upper buttock muscles. Maybe, if they're relaxed, you can feel the thigh muscle being sucked into the bone. Straighten the feet out on the mat. Again, on an exhale, push through one leg. Inhale, let it go. Find comfort and relaxation in the pelvic floor, in the softening of the face, broadening of the hands, lengthening of the arms to keep that heart space open. Push yourself up and come to a seat. In this case, it's fine to have the knees higher than the hips. So just one leg in front of the other. Arms out to the side, but have a connection, a physical connection with the arms to the thighs. Fingertips on the ground. Head right over the rest of the spine. Continually broadening, continually lengthening, and softening, whatever can be softened. Feel the root of the sacrum up to the base of the skull, lengthening. Maybe the base of the skull up through the crown of the head, lengthening. Always easy breath. Take the arms out to the side. Inhale here. Feel the lengthening of those arms, easy to feel here. Exhale, bring them back to center. Inhale out. And exhale back. Still keeping the broadenings and lengthenings in the legs. It helps us stay centered in our seat and the lengthening of the spine. Take the arms straight out, right on top of the knees. Refining, adjusting, softening. And come down to the back. Feet as close to the buttocks as comfortably possible without using the hands. Hands are solid with the floor, pushing into the ball mount of that first finger, broadening along the base of the fingers. Feel the base of the big toe, pushing into the ground, broaden along the feet. Lengthen up and down the legs, lengthen up and down the arms. The lengthening of the arms should help open the chest. Then soften in and around the pelvic floor. Let the face soften. Inhale, take the knees into the chest, cross the ankles. On an exhale, slowly take them up, push them up into the sky, only as straight as is comfortably possible. Inhale, back down. Exhale, broadening, lengthening, and softening. Exhale up. Keep the lengthening of the arms to keep the shoulders away from the ears and away from each other. Switch the cross of the feet and exhale back up to the sky. Maybe in this position you can find the lengthening of the spine and up through the crown of the head too. And take the feet back down to the floor, being mindful of your back. Come up in whatever way is comfortable. Right leg long, left knee bent. That left hand can be on the thigh, around the shin, or maybe if it's comfortable, wrap the elbow around. The other hand, the right hand, is out on the floor, fingertips on the ground. Right heel is centered on the ground. Broaden the hands, broaden the feet, lengthening from the toes into the pelvic floor, from the pelvic floor down to the toes, from the shoulders down to the fingertips and the fingertips, up into the shoulder from the base of the sacrum to the base of the skull, and from the base of the skull through the crown of the head. Softening, adjusting, listening. Gently coming back to the back. Again, feet as close to the buttocks as they get by themselves without the use of the hands. Arms to the side. The root of the first finger grounded. And find the legs. This time, on an exhale, take just one leg up to the sky. And inhale it back down. Softening the face. Softening in and around the pelvic floor. But continually broadening, continually lengthening. Maybe on one of your times of exhaling up, you hold, only if it feels right. Otherwise, you can keep going in movement. If you're holding one leg up, bring it back down and switch it out on an exhale. Take the other one. Where can you soften? And take that back down. Again, mindful of yourself. Come up. This time, left leg long, right knee bent. That right hand, wherever is comfortable, along the side. Maybe elbow wrapped around the knee. Left hand is out to the side, fingertips on the floor. And
Center that left ankle, left heel. Find broadness. Find length. Find softness. Lengthening the spine, and at the same time relaxing in and around the pelvic floor. Lips just gently touching. And let that soften. Come back to the back. This time, actually, change my mind because I know you don't want this to be too long. So, sorry, stay upright, take both legs out. Come back with your elbows on the ground, hands around the hips so the thumb is back, fingers are up on the top. Keep your chin tucked in, chin tucked in, very important here. So find the broadenings, the lengthenings. You have a slight little back bend here. Enjoy the feeling of opening the heart. Find the length from the base of the sacrum up through the throat, the base of the sacrum up through the solar plexus. Lengthening the arms to keep the shoulders relaxed. Find space in the heart cavity, in the lungs. And gently bring yourself all the way down to the floor. And you're ready, almost, for final Shavasana. Take one last time of rooting the fingers, rooting the base of the finger, spreading it out, finding the length, finding that broadening in the feet. Find the length both ways in the feet. The length of the spine, broadness across the chest by lengthening the arms, and softness in the face, maybe into the brain and into the pelvis, and gently letting go of all the broadenings and lengthenings, and letting the body relax in its own time. You might want a blanket, even if it's Florida, you might want a blanket on top of yourself so you can truly relax. It's important to spend a few minutes here to really soak up the benefits of your practice. Letting the body settle. Maybe finding more softness, more space. And stay here for as long